What's up guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are starting a brand new fighting fantasy book. We've not done this for a couple of months now. We're a bit, rusty. We're going to be playing Appointment of Fear. Appointment with Fear. We've skipped a couple of the lesser known ones, the ones that are written by different authors that are actually hard to get, but we're going straight to this one. So this is Appointment with Fear. This is by Steve Jackson, so this is probably going to be quite a unique one and also quite a difficult one. So from what I've gathered, this is more of like a superhero, supervillain themed one, so it's a lot different from your standard sword and shield fantasy. So I guess we're just going to jump into it and see what happens.
Show the book cover?
Yeah, so we do have two versions here actually.
Oh,
so
can I show this one? Because this is really cool.
Yeah, so this is the one of the sets that I used to have when I was a kid, and I think these ones came later, the other ones. But this is actually, do you want to show the info?
Yeah, we love it when we buy a book and it's got all this stuff in it. So this was
sold by Surrey County Library.
Godalming. And it was last signed out 2nd of October 2004.
Yeah, has it got someone's name in it somewhere as well?
I thought it did.
Maybe it's on the character sheet. Brian Bolland, yeah. It's the dude who did like Judge Dredd, Judge Death and stuff, right? Pretty cool.
Maybe there isn't a name in this one. I thought there was.
Well, they were supposed to bring it back to the library and we never did. Can't blame them. So...
Right, there's quite a few sections to read in this one as well.
Yeah. So there's a few different things like this, like I said, there's superpowers and there's clues and hero points and things, so it's a little bit different. So we're just going to get straight into the intro and then we'll talk through it as we get to it.
Yeah, so we have already chosen our skill, stamina and luck. Well, we've rolled for it already.
No gold, no provisions.
No, we haven't chosen our superpower yet, so we'll go through that first. Do you want me to read this bit?
Yeah.
You are Jean Lafayette, Jean Lafayette, the product of a dangerous but successful genetic experiment. Although seemingly normal as a child, it became apparent in your early teens that you were a far from ordinary human being. You are gifted with a superhuman power, which you have sworn to use only for the benefit of your fellow man. As the Silver Crusader, you're well known to the population of Titan City. Most people admire you, some distrust you, but all members of the underworld fear you. Only your parents, who are both dead, even knew your real identity and the origin of your powers.
I would have thought they'd know our real identity.
In the adventures ahead, you will begin with one of 4 powers. During your daily activities and encounters with disasters and supercriminals, you will have 2 objectives. First, you must learn the whereabouts of the secret meeting of F.E.A.R, the Federation of Euro-American Rebels, which is due to take place within the next few days. This dangerous alliance of master criminals and enemy agents is planning to overthrow the governments of the Western world and establish their own rule. Secondly, you may assess your own performance as a superhero by trying to gain as many hero points as possible. Before you start each adventure, you may choose which superpower to start with from the 4 powers below. You'll also start the game with knowledge of 2 clues.
Did they know your alternate reality identity?
F.E.A.R.
Probably not, but somehow they know our real identity.
Following the description of each superpower, you will find instructions on where to find your clues, which are hidden in the text of adventure. Before you turn to reference 1 to start your adventure, choose your superpower, and then locate and read the rules. So, the 4 superpowers.
It's superhero time, people. Hey, Spelsing, how you doing?
Hey, Spelsing!
It's good to see you all here. So,
you ready?
Yeah.
Super strength. You have the strength of many men. The muscles of your immensely powerful legs and arms bulge through the fabric of your costume. They are developed to the point of perfection, and in combat situations you always fight with a skill of 13, which is like...
overkill.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Unless the enemies in this go up to like 15.
You also have the power to fly through the air at any speed you wish.
So basically Superman, right?
Yeah, so this allows you to hover unsupported or chase to catch up with the fastest jet. That does sound really helpful.
It does.
And then there's psi powers. You have extraordinary mental abilities. You're able to reach into the thoughts of most humans and some animals. You can read their minds and influence them. You also have limited powers to make objects move mentally and even to change the very nature of some elements. That sounds useful. However, using this power is an enormous mental effort for you. Each time you use it, you must deduct 2 stamina points. And then there's enhanced technological skills, which makes you super intelligent, allows you to develop a whole collection of high-tech gadgetry. Is that like Batman?
Yeah, pretty much.
Whatever the situation, you're usually fortunate enough to have something appropriate to use. However, you have avoided developing weaponry in case it goes into the wrong hands. And then last but not least, there's Energy Blast. You're able to summon an electrostatic energy from your own body and channel it through your fingertips. You have taken a personal oath that you'll only stun human targets, no matter how villainous your opponent may be. Really?
We are Batman.
And it also takes 2 stamina points every time you use it. And you have to roll dice to test your aim.
Yeah, sounds like
that's
effort.
a no-go for me.
For me, it's either super strength or psi powers. I feel like psi powers is going to be more interesting.
Yeah, I like the idea of the strength because you don't have to deduct any stamina and you can fly, which I didn't really like.
Yeah.
But psi powers, I feel like, might be more useful.
Yeah, if we're trying to find out information about the F.E.A.R meeting thing, so should we just go with psi powers?
Let's go with psi powers.
I mean, we can always change this if we die and go back to the beginning. So basically, for each power you get, there's 3 pages to turn to get your clues. Do you just turn to one of them?
So it says turn to 222 to discover your first clue, and then you can choose your other clue from 3.
Okay,
That's giving me a clue. Did you watch that? No.
No, what's that?
That's South Park.
I'll hold this page and we'll check out what our first clue is with psi powers.
Super strength is boring.
It sounds too easy.
You'll never do this one first time. That sounds like a challenge and a half, John.
Well, we're probably going to fail it. So, a recent visitor from Metroville, the Tiger Cat, has arrived in town. This extraordinary villainess is a fierce fighter, but can instantly disguise herself as a harmless pussycat.
I'm just going to make a note of these. Tiger Cat what?
The Tiger Cat is in town.
Yeah.
She's a fierce fighter, but she can disguise herself as a cat. So if we see a cat, it's probably the Tiger Cat.
Okay.
So that's our first clue, which we get given, and then write down clues definitely. Okay. So we get to choose between 3 other page numbers for an additional clue. So there's 280, 152, and 108.
I'm writing them down, John.
Yeah. So I would every time we get a new clue, I would write the page number next to it.
Yeah.
So then at least we'll know which ones we've gotten in next clue. Okay. Should we go down the middle, 152?
Oh, I was going to say, should we start at the left? Do you want to go 152?
No, let's do that actually. Let's go from the left.
I like the number 280 is nice. Number 152 is very nicer than 280.
It's significant. 280. Let's go 280. I'll read this clue out and then we can go back to normal. Okay, so 280. So recently you have learned the true identities of several of the crime world's most notorious supervillains. The Tormentor has been identified as Richard Storm.
Tormentor.
Yeah, equals Richard Storm.
Dickie Storm.
Yeah, don't write Dickie because we'll get confused.
Right.
An uptown heating engineer. So he's a heating engineer. The Ice Queen is none other than Sylvia Frost. That makes sense.
You could have guessed that. Ice Queen, Sylvia Frost.
Yeah. Marcus Buletta is known to be the gruesome Dr. Macabre.
Say that again.
Marcus Buletta, Bulletta, is Dr. Macabre, or Macabre, however you say that word. We're probably going to get corrected. Whose terrible experiments in surgery have shocked the world. Bulletta has been planning a jailbreak for months. When he does so, he's likely to rob a chemist immediately for surgical equipment and chemicals.
Nice.
So there are clues. So then I guess we just go to page 1.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Okay, so this is at least this is something different, which we do normally get with Steve Jackson books.
Do you want to read the background, or are we?
Yeah, let's read the background.
It's quite long.
Yeah, we'll do like a paragraph each.
Okay. Obviously, if we die, we won't go through all this again. It's
Yeah.
just for the first part. It is exciting. The time of your birth was an anxious moment for your parents and their doctors.
When they realised your true identity.
Your mother had consented to undergo an experimental form of genetic surgery. The doctors had warned her of the dangers of the radiation experiments. Their research program was nowhere near complete. What a silly woman.
You're like the boys, like Gen V.
Yeah, this is what it's reminding me of. But this she already knew, for she herself was one of the researchers. The work had reached the stage where progress was impossible without testing it on a human subject. Your father had not fully understood the implications when he gave his consent, and 8 pairs of apprehensive eyes watched your arrival into this world. Their reaction was one of relief. You certainly seemed normal, healthy baby. Postnatal tests showed no physical deformities whatsoever. In fact, you appeared to be a fine specimen. In your younger years, your development was carefully monitored with a seemingly endless series of psychological tests, all of which you passed with flying colours. The doctors and researchers congratulated themselves. Their experiments were a complete success. However, the experiments had been conducted in a shroud of secrecy. Had the world known of the risks of the experiment, public outcry would have been overwhelming. It would certainly have put an end to further genetic research. And from your mother's point of view, she had no wish to have the world regard you as an experimental freak. Only a few knew what had really happened.
Over the years, the testing stopped as the doctors felt more and more certain that there was no need to monitor your progress. As fate would have it, it was just when this testing stopped that it became clear you were anything but a normal child. Your latent superhuman powers did not show themselves until after the doctors had lost interest. Your parents, who had become thoroughly fed up with endless tests, decided that your extraordinary powers must remain secret from the world. They had no wish to have you studied as some kind of freak for the rest of your life. Freak. You have a regular job working in an office of a medium-sized company, but when duty calls, you become the Silver Crusader, an upholder of justice, and you have taken an oath to serve and fight against the crime in Titan City. Apart from your own super abilities, you have one other device to aid you: your Crime Watch. We just watched Crime Watch, and that's where we find that all the. This neat little device worn around your wrist receives and broadcasts transmissions to you from your 2 most important allies. You can be contacted by police headquarters through this Crime Watch, and you can also summon the police to aid you.
Nice.
In addition, your friend and underworld contact Jerry the Grass,
Jerry the Grass.
is able to warn you of impending crimes against Crime
That's
Watch.
actually what he's called.
Jerry the Grass has recently become aware of.
You just call him Gigi.
Yeah, Jerry the Grass. It's me. It's Jerry. Jerry the Grass. Important meeting about to take place within the next few days. Vladimir Utoshki, leader of the... I'm just going to say the F.E.A.R. Utoshki, leader of the F.E.A.R, has been summoning his aides in crime to beat Titan City. Utoshki, also known as the Titanium Cyborg, is a supervillain whose field of expertise is the electronic enhancement of human ability. He is part man, part Jerry. He is part man, part machine, and very dangerous. Jerry the Grass has not yet found out where or when the meeting is due. Not much of a grass, he's got the wind tunnel. He's not found out when the meeting is due, but one thing is certain: its purpose is to finalise plans for a scheme that would mean disaster for the Western world. The meeting must be stopped. You must find out where it is and when the meeting is due to take place and prevent it at all costs.
Is that Jerry the Grass?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Straight into the artwork.
So, but when I sort of first pictured this book, I pictured it to be more like futuristic, more of like a Superman city, but it seems
like New York.
It just looks like 1980s New York.
Jerry the Grass. Can we start?
Yeah.
As you walk the 10 blocks to work that morning, you can't help but feel that something is not quite right. You stop by a telephone booth to consider what it could be. The sounds of the city are the usual 8 a.m. cacophony. Cars and buses bounce past along Clark Street, their drivers too sleepy even to try to avoid the pits and bumps in the road. A newspaper vendor bawls on incomprehensible headline, something about a robbery at the... Ooh, is this a chemist?
Maybe.
At the crowds of men and women milling past him on their ways to work. Overhead in the sky, the rhythmic beating of a traffic copter's blades fades into the distance. An argument is taking place between an elderly businessman and an overly large woman with an untrained dog, whose sidewalk deposits have offended the businessman. There is nothing unusual, or is there? The difference is only barely perceptible, but there is a distinct air of tension in the streets. There are nervous twitches in the eyes of passers-by. The cars are accelerating and braking in a jittery manner, little things like that. To your heightened senses, the atmosphere is pregnant. Today will not be just another day. Your thoughts are broken by the high-pitched wailing of a police siren. A yellow and black Cougar GS screeches around the corner and leaps ahead through the Clark Street traffic before swinging left into Audubon Park. Behind it, the traffic settles back into its regular flow. Your attention drifts back to the argument. A small crowd has built up around the man and woman. Raised voices are taking one side or the other, and the situation is beginning to look nasty. What will you do next?
Punch the woman or punch the man?
Or punch the dog.
Yeah, true.
Go over and see if you can break up the argument. Run after the police car into Audubon Park, or buy a newspaper to find out about the robbery, or ignore all these incidents and go to work. Just because of the clue, it makes me want to...
We need to find out what they're talking about.
No, the newspaper about the robbery.
All right.
Could be the villain.
And they're back. Hey, Miso, how you doing? Long time.
Kill him.
Yeah, so it's like different options. Like, if we speak to them, we'll find out what they're arguing about, which he has an idea. It might be interesting.
Dog.
We've got a different criminal at the park, and then we're going to find out about something in the news. So each one seems like a decent one. So should we just go with the newspaper then and find out? Because we already have the clue about the Dr. Macabre.
Just because, but then it wouldn't have been like. It's not just happened. It's in the newspaper.
Yeah, I feel like at this point we might as well just pick any, because we're probably going to circle back around to this as long as we've sort of figured out which one.
Yeah.
We've already done.
What's your gut? My gut was newspaper. I feel like we might be a bit late if we do that now, but...
Let's just go with the newspaper.
Newspaper?
Yeah, go for the intel. How are you guys? Where have you been? Christmas plans? We've just been very busy, really.
Yeah, chilling at home this Christmas.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Misa?
Newspaper, find out about the robbery. 228. You study the newspaper under the headline "Alchemists in Cleveland."
Yeah, you go. Is that man?
The story describes how the notorious gang of chemical experts entered a branch of the Cleveland Bank on 113th Street at 4 a.m., bypassed the alarm, locked the security guard in the vault on the time switch, and made off with a number of safe deposit boxes. Although it was impossible to tell how much was taken in the raid, it claims from the owners of the deposit boxes are now coming in. Apart from the cash, many valuable papers have been stolen. Do you want to investigate the robbery as the Silver Crusader, or will you see what else is in the paper?
Let's go!
Yeah, so here's the depictions of the crime, the bank robbery with the guy in the vault. So let's go as the Silver Crusader.
Yes.
Let's see what it's all about. Very bad, I sprained my ankle, so I've been very miserable. Went home away from London early, so missing.
Oh no!
You only just had your... Was it a hip replacement? Cool book shush though. Yeah, we thought we'd go to one that was a bit more interesting.
We've heard from John that it's difficult. So you might be with us for some time.
This one. The chat box is on the screen.
I don't...
Oh, yeah, it is. Nice. Hip moulding.
112. The police and bank officials fall silent as you step through the door of the bank. Do you wish to interrogate the branch manager, the chief detective investigating the case, or the security guard? Chief detective or security guard?
Security guard was there.
Let's go talk
He
to
might be in on
security
it.
guard.
Which page is it?
Bad hip and bad ankle. What's on here?
259. He might
We're
be...
all getting old, Miso.
Yes, John reminded me I'm looking very old.
Looking haggard.
Yeah.
Dishevelled.
I'll try and regain some youth at some point. After Christmas. 259. You try talking to the security guard, but it is no use. The vault is over a meter thick and he cannot... Oh, so he's in the vault. He cannot hear you.
He's still in there.
Maybe we can use our powers. While you are trying, however, you do find out what has happened. The alchemist, master of advanced chemistry, and neutralised the alarm with some sort of acidic gas which delayed its being activated as they forced their way in. Another unknown compound has dissolved the security lock on the main door. Why the security guard had not noticed the intruders was still a mystery, which would only be solved when the time lock released him from the vault. You may, if you wish, try to smash the vault door. So if you've got strength, you can do that. Probably. Release the guard. If you have an energy blast, turn to 183. Otherwise, turn to page 5. If, on the other hand, you see this as a futile exercise, turn to page 60.
You got to pause there because everyone is drinking to Miso's ankle. Cheers, Miso's
Pour one
ankle.
for Miso's ankle.
You got a drink.
Oh well.
Important.
Yeah, I was going to say Miso's teetotal.
Just now.
Right, so we can either just ignore it and just we're not going to get any info, or we can go to page 5 and see what happens. So should we just see what happens on page 5?
What's if you think this is a futile...
Like, if there's no point in pursuing
okay.
it, so should we just go to page 5 and see what we can do?
Yeah. We might be able to read his mind through the door.
Or maybe we can just talk to the detective instead.
You try to valiantly smash the door, but your efforts... But your efforts are futile against such a solid door. Your best plan would have been not to waste your strength on this door, because in trying...
You still got the page? Because I thought that was a separate
If you
option.
have energy blast, otherwise turn to 5.
Oh, yeah, no, we should do it on to page 60. Yeah. I thought that was
Oh, so you want to
separate.
not bother?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I thought if that was an option, if you didn't want to break the door and you didn't want to use it.
Fair enough. Okay, so we're gonna give up. Just before you leave, you talk.
Thanks, Spellsync.
You talk to one of the police officers who lives near Starker's Beach. There are reports of the sighting of giant sharks just off the beach, and he would be grateful if you would investigate it. He has 2 children who swim every weekend and is worried about their safety. You tell him you'll look into it. If you wish to go to the beach straight away, turn to 72. If not, turn to 98. I don't want to... I feel like this is a good side quest, but I don't want to give up on this.
I don't think we can do it.
Can we not? Should we see where 98 takes us if we can talk to someone else?
Yeah, because there's no way we can do that one without the strength or the energy blast.
Unless we talk to someone else, that's what I mean. What do you want to do?
Let's go to the beach.
If you wish to go to the beach straight away, turn to 72.
Oh, wait, go straight away. Okay, yeah, no, let's do the other option then.
If not, turn to 98.
Yeah, because you might, yeah.
What if his children get eaten while we're doing something else?
Yeah.
Is it yoga? Am I yoga?
There might go. As you leave the bank, you hear a bleeping coming from your wrist. Your crime watch is receiving a message from Jerry the Grass.
Jerry.
The electronic voice speaks 2 words. Parker Airport. If you want to head straight away to the airport, turn to 410. If on the other hand you still have not yet finished with the Alchemist, you may be heading somewhere else. If this is the case, deduct the avenue number from the street number to turn to this reference.
Guess we're going to the airport.
Which we don't have the power to chase a plane through the sky. Because we don't have the strength one, but we'll do it anyway. Turn to 410.
Oh, I feel like we're such a failed superhero right now.
Well, this is the lesson for superheroes. You can't save and do everything at the same time.
Yeah, we haven't done anything.
We're going to find the really easy one that we can
didn't
accomplish.
even stop the dog poo fight. Whoa. He looks like a bad guy unless this is Jerry the Grass.
No, I think he's just been flying a plane for the last 14 hours.
That's how you look right now.
He looks like the ultimate warrior.
You arrive at Parker Airport and ask
This
the
is not
nearest...
going so good.
and ask the nearest security guard whether anything's happening. The Silver Crusader, he gasps. Thank goodness you're here. Follow me. I'll take you to the control tower. You follow him up into the control tower, where you find the place buzzing with activity. The air traffic controller greets you nervously. Have you heard? No, the police are on their way. Some guy calling himself the Tormentor.
We know the Tormentor. It's Richard Storm.
It's Dickie Storm. Has hijacked a DC-10 full of passengers to London. He's mad. No demands, nothing. Says he'll crash the plane. Blames it all on Susan.
Susan Storm.
We don't know what to do. A complete nutter. Is there anything you can do? Is there anything you can do? If Susan means anything to you, turn to 141. If not, you can use your powers if you have strength if you have sight, or otherwise.
Let's use side powers.
No, because we know Susan. Oh
We
no,
don't.
it's Sylvia.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try out our side powers here.
Yeah, if you have side powers, turn
Be
to
heroic now.
216.
Yeah, we gotta try it out.
We can do something.
Yeah, well, so far we think so. We're a bit far away for us to use our side powers, but we'll see. You concentrate hard. A dreamlike vision shows you a scene of the aircraft's cockpit. The tormentor, shaggy-haired and cackling with a demonic laugh, has control of the plane. We didn't need our side powers for that. We saw it in the picture.
No.
The pilot and co-pilot are bound hand and foot against one wall of the cockpit. The passengers are panicking and their screams only delight the madman. But what can you do from the ground? You may want to communicate telepathically with one of the passengers, someone who may be strong enough to grapple with the villain. If you have another plan, turn to 176. I mean, that seems like the only option we got.
Yeah. So have we lost 2 stamina?
It's not told us to yet, so if it doesn't tell us to, we will. But
Yeah.
308. So we're gonna find the biggest, strongest dude on the plane to help us out. Unless Susan's on the plane.
Using your mental powers, you search quickly through the passengers. A burly man with wide shoulders catches your attention. You make contact with him and will him towards the cockpit to take on the tormentor. He shakes his head and stares into the distance as he listens to your message. Suddenly, he springs up from his seat. "Hallelujah!" he cries. "I've received the word of the Lord. I must rid us of this unbeliever. My mission has been sent from above." Your heart sinks, just what you needed, a religious fanatic who thinks your message is some sort of divine omen. In your mind's eye, you watch as he stomps forward up the aisle towards the cockpit, giving the tormentor full warning of his approach. The villain throws the joystick forward and sends the plane into a deep dive. Unconcerned about his own life, he has made sure that his plan will succeed. Moments later, the plane crashes to the ground, killing all on board.
What we call the Silver Spectre.
Silver. The Silver Crusader.
The Silver Crusader strikes again.
Your plan has failed. You leave the airport. Turn
Oh
to
well,
page 10.
what's next? What can we do?
At least we killed the tormentor.
Well, he was gonna die anyway.
There was one survivor. Jerry the Grass.
Oh god. Maybe Jerry the Grass is brainwashing us.
Did we get a hero point? Are we in -1?
We've got villainy points.
Oh, we need to deduct some stamina then because it didn't tell us to.
Yeah, okay.
So did we use it? We used it just once, didn't we?
Yes. You leave the airport and head home. You go for a sleep. You stop.
That'll do
You
for one
stop for a
day.
McDonald's on the way home because you really want a Happy Meal. You leave the airport and head home. What a day! You slump down into a chair in front of the TV.
It actually says this.
What a day! You slump into your chair in front of the TV and relax with a long cold drink. You may add 6 stamina points for this. Maybe crashing out plane is the best thing that we could have done.
It is the boys. I'm liking how things can go so badly wrong though. We just killed a plane full of people.
But he literally doesn't care either. Are we like Homelander? Like, we just nonplussed?
Literally just gone, what a day.
One thing disturbs you. Your boss, Jonah White, will be livid when you turn up for work tomorrow. You'll have to invent some pretty convincing excuses. The next morning, you set off to work early. You decide to travel by the subway to make sure you get to work on time. But since when has a superhero's life ever been easy? Help! Shouts a voice further back up in the crowded carriage. Pickpocket! Oh no! Just what you needed. You can't be asked, can he?
Well, he needs to get to work because he's gonna get shouted at.
You force your way through the crowd on the busy train. As you reach the pickpocket's victim, that familiar beep 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 sounds from your crime watch. Its electronic voice speaks. Rad Square, hurry! You sigh, but what will you do? The train is pulling into station. You will have to change trains immediately if you are to reach Rad Square quickly. If you want to do this, turn to 201. If you want to apprehend the pickpocket, turn to 185.
Right. I feel like we need to get more of a standing with the citizens.
Yeah. So we take like all the weak side quests and try and get hero points.
Yeah.
So let's try and get the pickpocket. Pickpockets might know more information.
Yeah.
185.
Take a G-Way day. Yeah.
Yeah. Add 1 stamina per person you killed on the plane.
What if the right path through this book is just to be a normal civilian and go to work every day?
Well, you never know. Our boss might be like the bad guy.
Let's look at this.
Ooh. Did Brian Bolland do all the art for this or just the cover, John?
You rush up to a puny-looking bespectacled man who is shaking with fright. There, he cries, pointing to a man running up through the next carriage. He stole my wallet. You race after him. No one else moves. They don't want to get involved. If only you could change into the Silver Crusader. Roll 2 dice and compare the total with your skill score. If the total is less than or equal to your skill, 10 to 166.
Okay, so what we're doing. Rolling this.
Where's our skill dice?
So we're going to use the yellow ones here for our dice skill roll. So
what's our skill? 11. So we just got to get less than 11 dice. 166.
No, sure that interior art is a bit more basic than Briar Bolin, but I thought it could be cool if they did have a fully like artwork done by a comic artist. So if the total is less or equal to your skill, 10 to 166. You gain your ground and catch up with a pickpocket. As you grab him, he spins around to face you and draws out a knife. You'll have to fight him with your bare hands, as you cannot risk revealing yourself as the Silver Crusader. Pickpocket. So, enemies in this are, where do you even start with superheroes? It could be anything. I do have a thief.
It's just a man.
But it's a woman. So, we've got a thug.
Yeah, he's a thug.
We're going to use the thug here.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
So, skill 7. And stamina is 6. Okay, so let's see if we can remember how to do this.
Yes.
Well, we roll at the same time, don't we? So, we'll go for it briefly when we do a first roll. So let's go. So, adding our skill to our dice roll gives us 19. The enemy's dice roll is a 10 plus 7, so 17. We have a higher skill than them, so we take 2 damage points off them. So they're down to 4 stamina, and let's go again. Standard combat rules. Yeah, I would have thought there might be some special ones for powers.
Have you not got the blood on this one?
Probably. It's blue though, and it's a monster blue, but
Yes,
that's a
easy.
win for us. We'll sort the monster blood out for next time.
Yeah, but then we'll probably end up running into the monster. Is he dead?
I think we're dead. So, first win. We killed off first. As the Silver Crusader, we took down a pickpocket. 296. So, we need like a battle accomplishment.
But we're not the Silver Crusader, we're just a civilian on our way to work.
That's true. We're Clark Kent.
We are GG. You go through the man's pockets to retrieve the wallet. He's carrying some peculiar things, no doubt the pickings of his trade. Along with the wallet, you find a cigarette packet which contains a crumpled piece of paper, a tape cassette, and a map. Before handing the pickpocket over to the security guard, you manage to take one of these from him. Which do you take? The cigarette packet, the cassette tape, or the map? Along with the wallet, you find a cigarette packet which contains a crumpled piece of paper.
So I would take the cigarette packet. Yeah, I would take the cigarette packet because it's probably got something.
Map's
really
probably just an
important.
underground map or something. Tape cassette's just a mixtape.
Isn't there a thing where you don't fight to the death? I'm sure I read when I was reading the instructions a while back that was like, yeah, you're not supposed to, if you get them to 0, it's like you lose a hero point because you killed them. But we haven't come across an option where it says you can't. One of the positive column versus an entire playlist. Yeah, we got the pickpocket. Right, okay.
Cigarette packet?
I'm gonna go for the cigarette packet.
Yeah, I probably would do 43.
It's just gonna be like a shopping list, isn't it?
It might be though.
Probably. You study the cigarette packet. It's an ordinary packet of Carlsberg's, but contains no cigarettes. The piece of paper inside makes no sense at all. A few meaningless words strung together. Is it really meaningless, or perhaps some kind of code? If it is a code, it means nothing to you. If you have the ETS, you could take it home and run it through your decoding computer. 329. Or maybe write down the cigarette packet and just write ETS.
Yeah, I've done.
Now this will take some time and you ought to get to work. Otherwise, you can save it and give it some thought later.
Okay.
We still got it, so 86. This was a kid's cigarette, yeah. This was a kid's one. Kids could smoke back in the 80s, couldn't they?
The train stops at Grim Street Station and you get off to go to work. You try to settle into your desk discreetly, no such luck. Lafayette, how do you say that? Lafayette?
Lafayette.
Get in here at once. No sooner had you stepped through the office door than Jonah White's booming voice summoned you. You creep into his office, mumbling scanty excuses for being late yet again. Enough, he yells. What do you think we're running here, a charity? Do you suppose I should be grateful that you even grace us with your presence? Very noble of you indeed to even bother coming in at all. Well, I tell you what, I'm feeling kind today. You can have the rest of the day off without pay.
Oh, I'd take it.
And if you're not in first thing tomorrow morning, you can start looking for another job. You slink out of his office with your tail between your legs. How can you tell him what you've been doing? And now you've been suspended for a day. Where will you go? Will you spend the day at Disneyland, the amusement park? Or will you go downtown perhaps to do some shopping?
Disneyland, come on.
Oh, should we go to Disneyland?
Yeah.
We can probably save someone, maybe. We didn't get a hero point from that thing.
No. Oh, God.
Spelsing says Disneyland too.
Definitely Disneyland. That boss reminds me of Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. 15.
Is that the newspaper guy?
Yeah. You're no heroes.
Not yet, John.
Disneyland is swarming with holidaymakers enjoying their day out at the amusement park. The smell of candy floss and hot dogs hangs in the air, and as you stroll about, youngsters clutching stuffed animals run laughing past you. Screams of delight from roller coaster riders turn through the corkscrew break through the general hubbub. You are going to enjoy yourself today. Which ride do you try? So here's a picture of people enjoying their time at Disneyland. So we got to go on the Big Dipper, the Fun House, or the Dodgems.
I'd go on the Big Dipper. What would you go on?
Feel like there might be like a weird, creepy mystery man hiding in the Fun House that might have info for us.
Are you wanting to go in the Fun House then?
I would say so. I feel like if we go on like the Big Dipper or something, someone's probably going to fall off and we're going to have to risk our identity
that
trying to save them.
That would not be a very fun day.
We'll let whatever happens to them happen. Let's go to the Fun House.
Yeah, okay.
174. Where's the super villain? Well, it's us at some point.
He's here, look. I found him. It's Disney from Disneyland. Walt Disney.
Fun House, beware of Fat Shark. I do not understand that reference.
No, I didn't know Fat Shark. You pay the admission charge and enter the fun house. You walk along a narrow passageway. As you turn a dark corner, a luminous skeleton appears in front of you, shrieking wildly. You jump and then laugh, just one of the scares of the fun house. Further down the passage, your feet stumble on a wobbly floor.
From Karate Kid.
Then the wall begins to sway. Suddenly, your foot steps on something and you fall forwards. But this time, it's not a wobbly floor. You fall through the ground and land on a rubber mattress in a dark pit. Ooh.
This is why they call it the Fun House. What's going to happen to us?
It's the fun house. Although it is pitch black, you can tell that you are not alone. Another figure touches you. A voice calls out and you answer. Oh, thank God someone else is here, gasps a man's voice. I've been here for 2 hours. I can't find a way out. And not only that, my wallet has gone. I'm sure it's been stolen. And I don't think this was any accident. My name is Grant Morley, a reporter on the Titan Times. I've been covering an expose to reveal the identity of the Scarlet Prankster. Earlier, I met an informant at the Big Wheel who gave me a key to one of the rooms here where he thought I could get some useful information. That key was in my wallet. You consider the situation. The Scarlet Prankster is a dangerous criminal who delights in grisly practical jokes. You decide to change into the Silver Crusader under cover of pitch blackness. Do you reckon we just change outfits? Like this?
Yeah, but we probably put the wrong one on. We'll probably put like our 80s yoga.
Our funhouse outfit.
Fluorescence on.
Then the two of you search the walls for a way out. You find a hidden door which lets you into the main room of the funhouse. If you have super strength, turn to 248. If you have ETS, turn to 271. If you have psi powers or energy blast, turn to 143.
Yes, it's psi powers.
Whew.
They won't know who Pat Sharp is. No, I don't.
Love how we've just got changed in the darkness next to this guy who probably hear is like. Oh no, I've been here for hours on this rubber mattress.
Well, Grant.
Oh, I've been waiting.
Rubber for a reason. Well, do you want to begin your investigations? The funhouse main attractions are buzzing with people, although most are now staring at you with open eyes. Will you check the rotating room, the trampolines, or the Hall of Mirrors?
Oh, I feel like the Hall of Mirrors has got to be.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like Hall of Mirrors.
have we ever been in one?
I have. I don't know where it was.
Did you end up in a
I
black
just
room?
don't, I have to like reach out because I feel like I'm gonna run into them.
Well, I do like watching videos of people running into them. Should we check out the Hall of Mirrors then?
Yeah, okay. I
Should
I
we
don't
go,
want
like
to.
the end of the Bond film?
Oh, the rotating room.
That's gonna make us sick.
If
Wait,
it
what
was
about
real
our
life,
cyclists?
I'd go to the trampolines.
Have you still got the other page? What happened to our cyclists?
What did happen to our psychos?
Unless they just give us different options.
Do you remember the page? Did you go to the right page?
I'm sure I did.
We haven't used our psi powers though. We can't answer the right page.
Let me find the fairground picture.
Oh, here we go. Funhouse.
143. Did I go to 146? No.
Oh, that's right.
Alright, okay. Hall of Mirrors. Let's do it.
You want to- I'm gonna make a note that we chose to go to the hall.
Yeah. What's yours?
Oh. Apart from making you large, small, fat, thin, long and short, the mirrors do not seem to hold any secrets. You're making little progress here. You overhear someone making comments about how dangerous he thinks the Big Dipper is. Will you go and check it out, or is it time you were making for home? No.
Let's go to save
The
someone from
Big
the Big
Dipper. We are the worst superhero in the world. We've done nothing.
Yeah, we're having the best day out ever.
187.
You climb into the carriage behind, well, investigating the Big Dipper or getting on it. You climb into a carriage behind the couple with a young daughter. As you set off up
Right.
a long climb, the excitement is mounting. Squeals come from the riders as the first steep drop lifts their stomachs. It is not until you reach the first sharp bend that you notice the danger. The young girl in the seat in front of you is wearing a safety harness which is hanging on by only a couple of threads. As you streak into the bend and are wretched to the right, the harness snaps and the girl lurches forward across the carriage. Can you rescue her before she falls to her death?
Oh my god.
Roll 2 dice and compare the total with your skill. If it exceeds your skill, turn to 224. So, our skill is 11. So,
Is the skill dice.
another casualty on our hands.
Young girl. Nice.
If it exceeds your skill, turn to 224. Otherwise, turn to 415.
If the roll exceeds your skill.
This is hardcore, I know.
I know!
It's been less than 48 hours, and how many people have died at our hands.
Maybe we're setting a new record.
But he got home and he's more worried about what he's going to say to his boss than what. Yeah.
Quick as a flash, you reach forward and grab the girl in the nick of time before she plunges to certain death. Her parents are horrified at the dreadful accident which might have occurred. When the ride is over, they thank you profusely for saving their daughter's life. No hero points, though!
You reach the ground with the door to realise all 16 other people on the ride crashed to their death.
You decide that you've had enough of Disneyland. Turn to 103.
I love how pinnacle.
What does it take to get a hero point? We just
Probably
saved
have
a
to kill
little
a villain.
girl's life.
It's true. We just need to kill bad guys. I feel like we're playing like the most cynical like superhero ever. Love it.
Yeah.
Better than being like the Golden Boy.
You killed more people than you did. We're all looking for them.
Where are you heading as you leave Disneyland? Will you make your way downtown to do some shopping, which was the option we had previous, or go home? I'm guessing that just takes us to the next day. If you decide to go home, you may either want to rest for the evening in case you gain 6 stamina points, or you may wish to sacrifice stamina and spend the evening at the theatre. You can get a ticket for tonight's performance of Rats.
I don't like shows.
Should we just go downtown and go shopping instead?
Let's go downtown.
202. Well, if it being like a big theatre show, I can imagine people going to turn up with like guns and like
We don't need that. We just want to chill out.
Alpha style and proud.
Strolling downtown, you stop first at the bank to get some cash. Next stop is a pizza parlor for a bite to eat. You take a stool
Sample.
facing. You take a stool facing out across Banner Street and watch the shopper passing as you
Banner
eat your
Street.
pizza. Are we actually taking a dump? On the far side of the road is a man you recognise. It is Drew Swain, a retired millionaire, who made his fortune manufacturing the collection tins used by charities. He steps into a baker's shop. When he comes out, something strange happens. He takes a step forward and suddenly freezes, held like a statue in an off-balance pose. A blue van draws up and obscures your view. When the van drives off, Swain is gone.
He's been kidnapped.
You saw it with your own eyes, but it happened so quickly that you are now a long way behind the kidnappers. Will you nip to the toilets in the back of the shop and change costume? If so, will you follow the van or ask questions at the bakery? If you are determined to have an afternoon off and do nothing, enter 428. Well, even if we change into a costume, we're not gonna catch up.
So we ask questions at the bakery. Are they really going to help us?
Probably not.
Why don't we try?
Maybe
Let's just try and follow the van and actually take care of the
Greg's
villain.
first. Maybe it is a Greg's.
Yeah. You need to have a clue before you go somewhere. If you don't have a clue, you normally can't access the super villain. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he froze and we've got the ice.
Start off home. It's safer for everyone. You got the ice what?
The
Oh,
ice
the person's
queen name. Sylvia Frost.
Let's go after the van.
We're not going to ask at the bakery, we're just going to go after the van.
Yeah, let's
Okay,
try and actually
151.
reach it.
We're running on foot. We've gone to the toilet, got changed,
Yeah, had a quick poop.
had a stool whilst facing the passers-by.
You race down the street after the van, but by now it's long gone. Unless you have super strength, you're wasting your time. Turn to 428 if you have super strength. If you have super... Oh yeah, turn to 428.
Oh no, we're so rubbish.
No one wants cake.
I do.
Could do with a cake.
We've had donuts today already.
Yeah, I'm still hungry though.
I'm just gonna get takeout.
I didn't say anything. Well, I would agree.
You resume.
It's Saturday night.
You resume your shopping tour down.
Oh well, Drew Swain has been kidnapped. We've killed everyone on the roller coaster, but we still.
No, we saved that girl.
Yeah. We saved the girl.
Will you make for Virgin Records to go and have a look at what new albums have come out recently?
Yeah.
Or will you have a look in the window of Epiphanies, the famous jewellers?
Records all the way. I'm not bothered about jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to get robbed though. We might be able to get a hero point.
Yeah, but we could also get a new vinyl.
Okay, let's go look at the vinyl stuff.
Virgin Records, not Virgin Records.
This bit is funny. Are we going to the right place?
I feel like this is the more interesting option anyway.
This is such a good book. I already love this book so much.
You find there is a new Michael Blackson album called Willa. All about spooks and ghouls, and you decide to buy it.
No way.
Do we get to play it? Do we get to listen to it? You go straight home and listen to it. 327.
Oh, that's the only option.
Yeah. I hope there's like an elaboration on the album. I hope we get a Patrick Bateman breakdown of Michael Blackson's Willow.
Oh, we're gonna get demonetized for this.
No, I don't think so.
The references.
You listen to 40 minutes of Willow.
Is that right? You go straight home to listen to it. Turn to 327. Look at
Oh, that's cool.
the image on this page. Is that like a giant floating head? Next morning you leave for work early. You're sorely tempted to leave your crime watch behind. You dare not miss another day's work, but your fears are unwarranted. To your utter amazement, your crime watch is silent. You arrive at work early. Jonah White cannot believe his eyes when he enters the office to find you hard at work at your desk. At lunchtime, you catch up on the day's news on the teletext TV. 2 stories
That's
catch
probably
your
like
attention.
modern tech at this point.
One is of a strange attack in Audubon Park. A woman has been seriously mauled. Oh, is that where we should have gone?
I don't know.
Our little beep went off yesterday, didn't it? A woman has been seriously mauled by what she calls a monster, but specialists at the hospital think the claw marks of an animal of some kind.
The tiger cat.
The second story is of a man who had his chest crushed in the grounds of the Natural History Museum.
Okay.
There are no clues as to who or what was responsible. It is as if whatever caused the man's death simply walked away. Both incidents have been investigated by the police. You decide to do a little investigation of your own. You change into the Silver Crusader and set off to make your inquiries.
You can be bothered now, can't you?
Where will you head first? The Natural History Museum, Titan Zoo, or Warnham and Whaling's Travelling Circus?
Oh god.
So the Natural History Museum's where the
which we have
guy
no
got
idea about.
crushed.
What about the zoo?
Why would we go to the zoo?
The beast. But it could also be the tiger cat who's just come into town, so she could be with the travelling circus, which we know about.
Oh, should we go to the travelling circus?
Let's do that.
There isn't a tiger one though.
There could be a tiger at the zoo and the circus, but she's just come into town. So I say we just go with the travelling circus. Yeah.
Let's do it. What's with the giant floating hen?
I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out at some point. You arrive at the circus as preparations are being made for the evening's performance. Caravans are clustered around the huge big top and round the back of the animal cages. A dwarf dressed in a clown's outfit comes running over to you as you arrive. He cannot talk, but instead honks his bicycle horn excitedly, grabs your hand and pulls. He seems to want you to follow him. Will you follow him as he wishes? Will you head to the lion cages or an important looking caravan in the centre? So many options.
There is a lot.
Tell the dwarf you're Michael Blackstone.
Is that an option?
Let's aim for one hero point this place.
It's not going to happen.
We follow him.
Well, he's pulling us.
Yeah, that's why we should follow him.
Follow him as he wishes.
Yes, should we follow him?
Oh, let's follow him because he might be trying to warn us about
Yeah,
things.
he can't speak, but he might have intel. 399, is it?
Yeah. Honking furiously,
He's like Uncle Hector from Breaking Bad.
he pulls you around to the far side of the circus towards a large, brightly coloured caravan.
Pins you up against the wall and begins kissing
So
you.
you walk up to the steps and open the door. Good afternoon, says a plump lady behind a desk inside. We have only a few seats left for tonight's performance, but I'm sure we can find you something suitable. How many tickets do you want? You explain that you have not come for tickets. Will you ask her where you can find the owner of the circus and follow her directions? Or will you ask her whether she knows anything about escaped animals? I don't think there are any escaped animals.
No. Where's your tiger? We don't know. She's probably in the zoo. But it was a 50-50.
Are you trying to...
If it's a tiger that's escaped, should we ask about that?
let's ask.
I feel like they probably wouldn't tell us.
I feel like we're missing something obvious and John's being like...
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's part one. If we fail, we can start again. Escaped animals, she asks. I don't think any of our animals have escaped, but I'll check for you. If you like, she picks up the landline telephone and cranks a handle. Hello, Mario, this is Nancy. Someone here wants to know whether any animals have escaped. No, I don't think so. Thanks. Bye. She shakes her head and you leave. Where will you try now? The zoo or the Natural History Museum? So now let's go to the zoo.
The zoo, because the
find a
Natural
tiger.
History Museum is...
Yeah, we don't know anything about that person who died there.
We haven't been to the zoo for ages.
Yeah, we went like last year.
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
We did.
Years ago.
No, I'm pretty sure we went
No.
last year.
When you arrive at the zoo gates, you question the attendant, asking whether there have been any reports of animals escaping from their cages over the last couple of days. The attendant is obviously excited to see you. Gosh, hi Crusader, he stammers.
No one died. No, the the dwarf in the clown outfit was executed for taking us to that caravan.
Yes, I did hear something about an escape, but I don't know any more about it. You'll have to ask the director. I'll take you to him if you like. You tell him to lead the way, but as you turn to follow him, a beep 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 comes from your wrist.
Oh, it's not the clown again, is it?
You hold the crying watch up to your ear. Museum of Egyptian Heritage, it speaks. Do you want to follow its advice and head straight away for the museum, or you ignore this message and instead follow the attendant?
Let's go with the clue we got.
Yeah, the attendant.
26.
Someone else gonna die because we can't be asked to follow?
Probably. He takes you on a long trek through the zoo until you eventually reach the administration offices, where he introduces you to the director. You ask him more about the escape. Good Lord, Crusader, he says. I mean, yes, we have had an escape, but it's hardly a national disaster. After all, what harm can an escaping silverback gorilla do? No, it just says. What an escaping aardvark do? Might eat a few termites, but I'm sure no one will shed any tears over that, will they? An aardvark, you think? The director is right. It's hardly likely to cause any damage. You leave the zoo. Where will you go now? Do you want to follow up the call from the Egyptian Museum, or do you think it's too late now and decide to go home?
It doesn't say that.
It does. Should we go to the...
Should we go home?
No, let's go to the museum.
Oh, we just wasted a whole day again.
This book is too hard. Yeah.
It is.
No, we're going to the museum.
So many options. I know we're going to the museum. I wasn't really going to go as much as I wanted to.
Well, we've got Michael Blackson's album waiting for us.
The Museum of Egyptian Heritage is in the Midtown area. Everything seems perfectly normal when you enter, and you make for the head curator's office. Dr. Kabbalah is an elderly professor type with white hair and a thick white moustache that hangs over his mouth. He's surprised to see you, but assures you that, as far as he knows, everything is in order. He offers to double check all his treasures to make sure nothing has disappeared. Hasn't someone just been crushed here?
It's probably the same place, National Museum.
Do you wish him to do this, or will you ask him to get someone to show you around? Ooh, so should we get him to double check his treasures?
Yeah. So you might have a guard who's like stolen something.
Okay.
Well, unless this is where he gets crushed, but I don't think it's time travel in this book. I think you might be ejected from the Society of Superheroes.
No.
We become the supervillain.
We saved a little girl on a roller coaster, you know.
One saved, 20 died. He studies the closed-circuit security screens which are focused on the main treasures of his collection. Everything seems to be in order, but he does study one screen rather closely. It is a figurehead of the god Amun-Ra festooned with golden jewellery. He is not sure whether there is supposed to be a pair of golden earrings on the idol. Do you want to go and check it, or will you instead check the main exhibit, the sarcophagus of Princess Anne Callis?
Who cares about some earrings? Come on. We haven't got any clues about like a petty thief, have we?
No. Let's go and check out the sarcophagus. I mean, he finds it weird, so it could be some weird like, shapeshifter that's like hiding. But
oh, do you want to do that then? Don't be throwing things like that. And
maybe we should check the earrings in this run then.
check the earrings. Where were we?
Check it. 385. Moonwalk like Michael Blackson. Let's call it a dry run. Yeah. That's good. We're narrowing down no-go sections.
You rush to the idol and check for the earrings. There are none there. The professor thumbs through the catalogues and double checks the idol.
I did have a feeling.
My mistake, Crusader. This idol does not have earrings at all. My, I am getting forgetful in my old age. A false alarm.
I did have a feeling just because he was so like old that it could just been a mistake. But
It looks like all is well after all. You decide not to waste any further
a
time.
big line through that page.
And you leave. Turn to 276.
So we haven't checked out the sarcophagus.
Is this the worst playthrough anyone has ever done in this book?
I imagine a lot of people's first runs are very similar to this. Where to now? You may want to visit the Titan Central Library and do some research on their criminology section, or you could go and visit Jerry the Grass.
Let's go see Jerry the
That's
Grass.
an easy question there. Let's go see Jerry the Grass, page 38. Go home.
I hope he's everything we want him to be.
I bet he's like this big. I bet he's like a little bug or something.
You visit the grass as a Silver Crusader. He lives in a rundown part of town in a dirty one-bedroom apartment. He is horrified to see you, as your appearance will surely blow his cover. But as always,
We've just got Jerry the Grass killed.
he has some interesting information. Apparently, the man-trapper has control of the mind of Sydney Knox, a research assistant at the Murdoch Nuclear Laboratories. Normally a passive type, he spends all his spare time in an observation tower at the lab watching migratory birds. Knox has been implanted with a post-hypnotic suggestion. No one knows exactly what this is, but Jerry's information will help you. If you find yourself looking for Sydney Knox, deduct 40 from the reference you're on at the time and turn to this new reference. You may add 1 luck point for this new information. You leave discreetly and go home. The rest of the evening is uneventful, and you add 6 stamina points for the rest.
So
right.
what
So
happens then?
if we find ourselves looking for Sydney Knox,
Yeah,
he's got some info.
but we need to take 40 from the reference you're at.
Yeah.
Write that down. Yeah.
I am
We know
doing-
that much.
Sydney Knox. Deduct 40 from page reference.
Yes. So we're going home. And what was our stamina? Was it 20?
Yep.
1, 5.
This ain't a bad lie.
No.
It's alright. Bit busy.
Well,
don't do
if we
much.
keep not going to work, we aren't getting paid for it. And then again, if we get fired, we can just become a super villain.
We
and
went to
rob
it
the bank.
today.
Once out of like 5 days. In the morning, you set off for a stroll. As you turn the corner at the end of the block, the beeping from your wrist signifies the start of your busiest day yet. Murdoch Nuclear Laboratories speaks the message from your crime watch. You gulp. Atomic weapons experiments are conducted at the Murdoch Laboratories. Whatever is happening could be very serious indeed. You must get to the Murdoch labs without delay. Is that a Daredevil reference? An atmosphere of panic is in the air when you arrive. A series of controlled radiation experiments were being conducted on animals to help determine the effects of the nuclear explosion. Some startling results have been achieved. Under certain conditions, distinct signs of increased mental powers were being shown by several of the experimental animals. Some of these were quite spectacular. They had, for example, produced a dog able to talk and a chimpanzee able to play computer games, but they had no doubt that similar experiments on humans would have produced much more dramatic results. This theory has now been proved true. Sydney Knox, one of the research assistants, has crept into the radiation chamber that morning and subjected himself to the rays. His brain is now twice its normal size and he has the ability to manipulate objects by willpower alone. Well, there is an unforeseen side effect. Sydney Knox's head is absolutely massive now. There is an unforeseen side effect. Sydney Knox, normally a peaceful individual, has developed a destructive streak.
And his head
Yeah.
is twice the size.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even look at the pictures, but I have now. His pictures enable him to will the radiation emitter to implode and destroy itself. The danger is if he gets anywhere near the nuclear reactor, destruction of the reactor would mean disaster on a grand scale for Titan City. No one knows where he is now, but the reactor must be protected at all costs. Where will you begin your search for the self-made mutant? At the nuclear reactor around the test laboratories. So this is
Surely he's not already
The
got
dude.
to the...
he has got quite a big forehead.
It says if we find ourselves looking for Sydney Knox, deduct 40 from the reference. So do we deduct 40 off 215?
There's a good chance. So
Or do
what's
we,
that?
or do we go to one of these pages?
Let's try it.
Because we're technically looking for it now. Maybe 1A? 175?
You remember your clue? we go.
175. Yay!
Big brain.
Did you show the picture?
I did.
Okay. You remembered your clue. You asked someone about such a room. You are directed to the observation tower. Hoping that this may lead you to the mutant, you rush up to the room at the very top. There, staring out of the window at the huge reactor structure, is a man in a white coat with a bloated head the size of a pumpkin. You creep up behind him and deliver a
He's like the
blow.
bad guy from the Hulk. I can't remember his name.
Deliver a blow to the back of his neck to knock him out. What?
No, just breaking a guy's neck.
I'm just knocking him out.
If you hit him on his double brain head, he's gonna explode.
That's why we went for the neck. Knock him out and carry him downstairs to the waiting scientists. You can only hope that they find a way either of curing him or of taming his destructive urges. Though you do not realize it, you have saved perhaps the whole of Titan City from a deadly threat. Is this the end of the
I
book?
think this is the origin story to that guy in the Hills of Eyes remake who's in like the chair.
Oh yeah, he creeped me
We
out
just
as a
karate
kid.
chopped him and broke his neck, and that's where he stays now.
In appreciation of your saving the laboratory, the scientists bring you a small pen-like device. Crusader, take this as a gift from us, please, director. One of our men made this in spare time. He calls it a circuit jammer. It is still to be fully tested, but seems to work okay. I know you often face mechanical villains and their contraptions. With this, you'll be able to disable their circuits. You're looking for Vladimir Utoshki and his powerful adversary.
Basically, we can use it on him.
With this, you will stand a better chance. You thank the director for his gift. It may well come in handy. You may award yourself 5 hero points for saving the plant. Turn to 125.
Saving the plant. This is not. Our hero points are literally all in the eyes of like corporations. Like, who cares about the people you saved on the plane a little girl? You saved the research plant, 5 hero points.
Yeah, but it said we could have saved the whole of the
True.
big place, Titan City. We said the city. When we've got a circuit jammer, have we got an inventory?
We do, I think. Let me check.
We did it! We're a hero!
We got 1 in this playthrough. So our inventory, which has probably still got like a million items from the last book. Circuit jammer.
Yes.
Circuit jammer.
Jamming. Spelled jammer on.
Yeah, I did, and the just letters did not appear for 20 seconds. Try and make this a bit bigger.
That's alright.
No, yeah. Mess up the vibe. We've got Circuit Jammer. 5 hero points. I think this is probably a good time to wrap up part 1 of our playthrough of Appointment with F.E.A.R. So far, really enjoying this one and how different it is.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Really,
it's
like,
funny as well.
It feels very laid back.
Yeah, like we're playing literally like Homelander who just wants to go home and watch movies and listen to records instead of actually going out and saving people. It's quite fresh. I was kind of expecting you to be this like
really intense
who wants to save everyone and he was really like noble and stuff like that. We're just playing a dude who's got zero powers.
He's just working. He's trying to get to work on time, but
yeah. So really enjoying this one. Can't wait to jump back in. And it looks like we're probably going to be running this one a few times to get all the information we need. So we'll see where it goes to part 2. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down below in the comment section what you think about this one, if you've read it or not. And we will see you again with part 2 very soon.